All right, let's dive into this beautiful piece of writing and really try to understand its deeper spiritual meaning. We're going to unpack a poem that, on the surface, feels like it's all about love and loss. But if you look at it through a Sufi lens, it reveals this incredible journey of the soul.
You know how we often read poems about love and longing, right? But what if they're not really about another person? What if they're actually a message written from the pen of a spiritual guide, a Murshid, trying to lead us from the everyday world to something divine? Well, this poem, by Pawan Raj Singh, is a perfect example of that. So let's start where pretty much all of these spiritual journeys begin, with the pain of separation. It's a feeling we all recognize, but in Sufism, that feeling is the launchpad for something so much bigger. The poem kicks off with this line: "The pain of love hurts the heart so much, the memory of meeting the beloved comes to mind so often." I mean, wow. You can feel that ache, can't you? It's that universal sting of missing someone.
Okay, so literally, yeah, it's about the pain of missing a lover. But here's the twist, the crucial shift in Sufi thinking. This beloved isn't a person, it's God. So that pain isn't just heartache, it's the soul's deep, primal yearning to get back to its source, back to the divine. The pain itself is transformed into a sacred call to action. So if this pain is a calling, how in the world are you supposed to answer it? Well, the poem doesn't just leave you hanging with the feeling. It actually starts to lay out a path for the spiritual seeker, a path of discipline and devotion.
Then we get this advice: "Have discipline, you debauchee, for in the tavern the cup is passed around often." Hold on, a debauchee? A tavern? That sounds like some pretty strange advice for someone on a spiritual path, right? What's that all about?
But this is where the language is so brilliant. The Arinda Harab isn't some drunkard. It's a soul that is so completely intoxicated with divine love that to the outside world they look ruined. And the tavern? That's no bar. It's the sacred gathering, the place where divine knowledge, the wine, is shared. So the call is really for self-control, even in the middle of this overwhelming spiritual experience.
Then it says, "The saki's job is to serve the wine, and it's accepted that he worries about you a great deal." So who is this saki, this wine server, who seems to care so much? And that right there is the teacher. The saki is the Murshid, the spiritual guide. Their whole job is to pour out that divine wisdom, but they do it with so much care and concern for the seeker, making sure you're actually ready to receive it.
Now, all of this discipline and this guided learning, it's all building towards something. It's leading to the next stage of the journey, the revelation, that incredible moment where you might get a glimpse of the divine.
And then the poem drops this very specific reference. "There is a worry that Mount Terrell will melt. Moses thinks of devotion often." Okay, this isn't just some random imagery. It's a direct callback to a huge event in Scripture. This gets to the absolute heart of it. The poem is suggesting that a seeker's devotion can become so powerful, so focused, that it can bring about a revelation as intense as the one Moses had, an experience of God so overwhelming it could literally melt mountains. The questions just keep coming. Who knows the art of staying awake at night? Who can awaken those who are asleep? It's a challenge, really, posed directly to us, the readers. And that question just peels back another layer of meaning. Staying awake isn't about skipping sleep. It's about spiritual vigilance, prayer, meditation, being open to truth, especially when the rest of the world is asleep, caught up in distractions. It's an art, a skill you have to cultivate, so you're ready when wisdom comes knocking. And finally, the poem doesn't just end. It concludes with this idea of legacy. The journey of one person doesn't just vanish. It echoes through time. The poet, using his own pen name, Raj, writes, "Ages have passed, and that saint, Darvesh, has not been seen. His disciple, Murid, tells his stories often." So the person is gone. They're not physically here anymore, but something else, something powerful, remains.
And this is the final beautiful piece of wisdom in the poem. Enlightenment isn't just a personal achievement that dies with you. No way. It's a light that gets passed down from the teacher, the darvish, to the student, the murid. And then that student becomes a storyteller, keeping the wisdom alive for the next generation. So this very poem, written by Pawan Raj Singh, becomes a perfect example of its own message.
It's a story, a piece of teaching, being passed from the pen of the Murshid directly to us, right here and now. It just goes to show you, a guide's real legacy isn't their physical presence, but the echoes of their wisdom.
And that's the thought the poem leaves us with. The teachings we carry with us, the wisdom that guides our lives. Whose voice is that? What stories did we inherit? And maybe more importantly, what stories will we tell for others to hear?